genuinely do not think you guys understand how many books I'm about to show you. Just to set this up alone almost took me out. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mika. I have not filmed a sit-down video in so long. I know, trust me. I feel like I definitely needed a little break from YouTube because I was getting a little bit drained and I thought it was important to listen to my body and just take a step back. So I really appreciate everyone for being so patient with me, and honestly, if you are still watching my channel and still support me, I love and appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Whenever I am taking a break from social media, I'm usually pretty active on Twitter and Instagram, mostly Twitter. But either way, if you ever want to like ask me something or reach out to me, don't hesitate to. I will probably respond to your DM. I also wanted to do a fun little giveaway for you guys. I am going to be giving away this book talk box set. This is from the publisher Get Underlined, and it has amazing titles like We Were Liars, The Gilded Ones, House of Salt and Sorrows, and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and they are all paperbacks and all a part of this box set. So stick around to the end to see how you can win that. I love filming book hauls. I know you guys like them too, so I'm hoping you guys can find some recommendations in this. It's a lot of different genres and a lot of different types of books. I have fantasy, I have sci-fi, I have romance, I have YA, like I have it all. The title says 150 plus books, I think. It could be more. It really could be more. I don't know. I stopped counting when I got to a certain number and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just estimate how much I think I'm gonna haul in this, and I would say it's pretty accurate. Thank you so much for your input, Lola. Anyways, like I was saying, I think I estimated correctly. I don't know. I guess we'll see when we finish this video. Some of these books are from like book boxes and stuff. I will try my hardest to clarify when I get to that book. But all of my links and like coupon codes and discount codes are in my description. So if you see a book from like Fairy Lou or Owl Crate, I do have codes with them. Well, I have a code with Owl Crate. I don't think I have a code with Fairy Lou, but they're gonna be in the description. So if you want any extra money off, which like who doesn't want money off, it'll be down there. I really do need to film a separate video with all of like my book boxes soon because I've been neglecting that, and that needs to get done like ASAP. Okay, I have 2 library carts full of books, as well as these stacks of bad boys right here and 2 boxes. So let me stop rambling and get into the video. Let's do that. I don't even, like, where do I begin? Okay, let's just start with this stack right here. So the first 2 books I'm going to show you guys are Parallel and Intersect by L. O'Rourke. You guys, I absolutely adored these books. They were so good, and the covers are absolutely stunning. I believe the books after the first 2 books follows a separate character, so it's technically a duology. So Parallel is basically about this girl who is currently in the middle of planning her wedding with her fiance, and she's suffering from like these insane migraines, and every time she will faint or pass out from one of these migraines, she'll be like sucked into this intense dream that feels extremely realistic with this guy that she's never met before in her life, but she feels like she's known him her entire life. Until one day she decides to finally go to the hospital for these terrible migraines, and the guy from her dream is literally her freaking doctor, and it's insane. You can tell from the title, but it plays kind of on parallel universes and soulmateism, if you will, or like finding your soulmate. This book was just so good. It was like a perfect blend of, I don't know what you would call that. Would you call that sci-fi? Like parallel universes? I don't know, but whatever genre you'd call this, it is adult romance with some like fantastical elements to it. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, these are the first 2 books of the haul. We're starting off good, if I do say so myself. The question of the day is, where am I gonna put these after I finished hauling them? Okay, so the next book is a personal favorite of mine, and that is the 5th anniversary edition of A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. You guys, I love this book so much. It's incredible. I've talked about it on my channel before, and I own the original copy, I believe, but the author, she's amazing. She reached out to me and she literally sent me a signed copy, and she signed my name and said, "Let love burn," and it's just so cute. It's literally a book about right person, wrong timing, and very painful at times, very real and raw. And I just think that like Candy Steiner has such a way with words. Like, I read this, I don't even, how many pages is this book? It has to be like almost 500 pages, if not more. It's a 500-page book, and I read this in a few hours. Like, that's how good, well, not a few hours, I read it in a day, and that's how good it is. Because you know me, sometimes I like read a little bit slow depending on how much I'm enjoying the book, but if it's a good book, doesn't matter how thick it is, I'm finishing it that day. And this was one of those books. Dare I say, it might be one of my favorite romances of all time, even though the characters can get really frustrating, but that was the point of the story. I don't know, just read it. Next up, we have another book by Miss Candy Steiner, and that is Blindside. This is from her series. I don't remember what series it is. Hold on. I don't remember what series this is from, but it is a sport romance. The main character is the public relations coordinator of the football team at their university, and I think, what is he, the quarterback? They end up having to fake date in order to get back at his ex. Y'all, this book, phenomenal. It was also really good. It was a quick, easy romance. I really enjoyed it. I'm probably not going to give synopsises for every single book, but I'm going to try my hardest because I feel like I've just been like showing books instead of talking about them recently, so I'm gonna do better. Next book is another book that I've read and really enjoyed, and that is A Deal with the Devil by Elizabeth O'Rourke. This is the same author who wrote Parallel. However, she goes under a different name for her like actual romance books. I think O'Rourke is like her pseudonym for her fantasy sci-fi type of stories. But y'all, this book, so good. I feel like I'm just saying that like all of the books that I'm holding up are good. I just can't help but say that they're good because that's exactly what they are. I bought the physical copy of this book before I even finished reading it because I just knew, like, I was obsessed from the minute I started. It is on Kindle Unlimited. Most of the books that I've talked about so far are on Kindle Unlimited. This one is about this plastic surgeon who lives in Los Angeles. Our main character, she absolutely despises him and he despises her. They have a mutual best friend, but they just can't like seem to get along very well. Her best friend is his personal assistant. However, her best friend is adopting a child and needed to go out of town. Therefore, she needs to step in and help her best friend and be his personal assistant for, I believe, 6 weeks is the agreement that they have. The banter in this book is honestly not like any banter I have read about recently. I feel like I'm a very easy to please reader, but sometimes like with the romances that I've been reading recently, at least, the banter and just like the energy between the two main characters have not been doing it for me. This one, I just haven't read banter between two main characters like this in a really long time. And if you've read this book and you know any other book with good banter between two characters, let me know because I need to read it. This is a series. I'm actually reading the most recent book she came out with in this series, which I believe is called The Devil Gets His Due or something like that, but I've read all of them besides that one and I love all of them. I think Elizabeth O'Rourke's writing is really easy to get into and her characters are really fun. The dialogue is really fun, so yeah, I would recommend. Okay, this next one I haven't read yet, and that is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. Heard really great things about this one. I really don't know what it's about besides the fact that I'm pretty sure it's a childhood best friends to lovers romance. I got this during the summer because I really wanted to read it during the summer and I didn't read it, so I don't know if I should just like wait until next summer when it's like, you know, the right vibes. But I am really excited for this one, and I love, like, you guys know I love a good childhood best friends to lovers. I like enemies to lovers if it's done well, and like I said, like if they have good banter. Childhood best friends to lovers will just always do it for me. It's cute and it's sweet majority of the time. Next up, we have a book that Bloom Books recently sent to me, and that is Underneath the Sycamore Tree by B. Celeste. Y'all, they sent me tissues with this book. Tissues! Now I'm scared. Does that mean I'm gonna cry while reading this? I don't know. The next 3 books are going to be by the same author, and that author, of course, is Miss Mariana Zapata. So the first one I have is All Roads Lead Here. I don't know why I didn't own this book. I read it literally the day it came out. I read the entire thing the day it came out. But I heard that Mariana Zapata is actually signed on with Avon Books, and so All Roads Lead Here and The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, I think, are getting cover changes eventually. And listen, this was like one of the only books of Mariana Zapata that I didn't own, and I was like, hold on, I need to rectify this immediately before it goes out of print, because I'm pretty sure once it goes out of print there's going to be no more. So if you haven't already gotten this book physically, please go do that so that you don't like miss out on having the OG cover, you know what I mean? And then Mariana Zapata has printed some special editions of Colty, which is another one of my favorite books of hers, and I had to get it. It's very, very, very pretty. I do own Colty already. I wonder if this is it's signed. She did sign them. Cool. Then the last Mariana Zapata book I think that I have to show, I'm pretty sure this is the last Mariana Zapata book. It is another edition of All Roads Lead Here. This one is the special edition from the bookworm box, and yeah, I just thought this one was so stunning. My friend Amber is literally an angel. She reached out to the bookworm box and asked if they had any extra copies because it sold out so fast, and they did have an extra copy and they sent it to her. Well, she had them send it to me basically, and she's just amazing for that. I literally would have never thought to do that, so that was really kind of her. Yeah. Next up we have a book from Fairy Loot, I believe. I could be wrong. No, this is Fairy Loot. It is the copy of Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Oh my goodness. This copy is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, stunning. The sprayed edges, like Fairy Loot always really does the damn thing with their special editions. The end papers look like this. I absolutely love when books have like, what is this called? When the cover of the book is printed on the actual book. I love that. I don't know what it's called, but whatever it is, I love it. I tried not to read the synopsis of this book because I just want to be surprised, but I do know that I'm pretty sure she falls in love with death, or like has a thing with the death or something, like death reincarnated. I don't know. But I read Wattpad story. If you know, you know. It's called Death Is My BFF. Listen, that story on Wattpad was so good. It honestly still is good. I'm sure if I were to go back and read it, I would love it as well. But on the back of the book it says, "Your name is no curse, little bird. I just like the taste of it." What? Some of these YA books, like, they're getting a little, yeah. The main character makes an alliance with death. I don't know what that means, but I'm here for it. Oh my god, I'm so excited to talk about these next two books. I'm about to become a total fangirl, so this is your warning in advance. The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. So yes, I do have 2 copies of this book, and let me give you guys a little story time. So last year, you might remember I did a 24-hour readathon, or technically I think it was a 48-hour readathon. You can go watch it. I'll try to remember to link it up here. I'm sorry if I don't, but I think it's my only 48-hour readathon I've ever done. And I unboxed the Fairy Loot edition of Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I had the Barnes & Noble special edition, and I had the Waterstones edition, as well as the regular edition, because I did a giveaway with Flatiron Books for the book, so they just sent me like the copy of it. But all the special edition stuff I bought myself because I just had a gut feeling. I was like, I think I'm going to like this. Like, actually no, I know I'm going to like this. And sometimes that gut feeling is wrong. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. Like, but it took me a year to finally get to the first book, but I finally read it this past week, you guys, and I was obsessed. I was obsessed. The first book was good, okay? Like, it was like, yeah, this is a good YA book, you know? The second book, this book, phenomenal. It was phenomenal. I feel like I'm hyping it up way too much, but no, I really, really, really did enjoy it. And I was smart this time, and I waited before buying the special editions till after I read the book, and I'm glad I did, because I would have been like really pissed if I ended up not liking the series and then I had like all these books that I just don't want. If you guys like YA and you like when the main character falls in love with a morally gray / villain type character, I would recommend it. If you've read Caraval by Stephanie Garber, this book follows Jax, who is the Prince of Hearts. And basically the main character, Evangeline, is suffering from a broken heart because her love is going to marry another person, and she kind of just doesn't know what to do, and she really wants to stop the wedding. So she finds the Prince of Hearts and makes a deal with him. And in the world of Caraval and in the world of Once Upon a Broken Heart, you should never ever 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 make a deal with the fates. But Evangeline does not give a single damn, and honestly I love that for her because she gets to meet Jax, and that's a win. Okay, next up we have Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus. This is her most recent release. It has nothing to do with her One of Us is Lying series, but I've heard it is just as good. And then we have One of Us is Next. The next few books that I'm going to haul are actually from Get Underlined. I work with Get Underlined on their TikTok, so if you don't already follow their TikTok, you should go and do that. So I do get quite a few books from them every month and every few weeks. Those books are going to be like mixed into this haul. There's a lot of them, and I didn't want to like bore you guys with just like going through them one by one, so I tried to mix them as best as I could in this. You can definitely go check out Get Underlined's TikTok. They're amazing. I love working with them, and the fact that they send me these books every single month is just like crazy. But yeah, anyways, moving on, we have 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. This is Holly Jackson's newest YA thriller, and I've heard that it's really really dark, like way darker than her A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So if you're intrigued in that, again, go check out Get Underlined and check out this book. I love the cover. I love that the covers for like Get Underlined's thrillers all kind of have the same vibes to them, because even though these are 2 completely different authors, they have similar covers, and on my shelves I feel like it's just gonna look so nice. Then we have Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow. Sorry. And then we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is the paperback. I think I do have the hardcovers of the rest of the series somewhere. I don't have like the series all in one format, which sucks, but it is what it is. And then we have The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. This is the second book in the 6th Crimson Crow series. And then we have Nubia the Awakening by Omar Epps and Clarence A. Haynes. Whew, 1 pile down, a million more to go. Alright, next up we have Southern Storms by Brittany Cherry, and this was sent to me by Valentine PR, I believe. Valentine PR be sending me some like really great books. I'm like moving around a lot because I'm very uncomfortable. I never sit on the floor for my videos, but for this one I had like I literally had no choice but to do that. What I love about Valentine PR is that they always send you like this little paper, and it tells you like the genre and the tropes. So the tropes in this book are friends to lovers, second chance, and a small town. I love a small town romance. I feel like I wanted to read a Brittany Cherry book. I think I wanted to read the first book in this series, and I had it on like one of my books I'm looking forward to list. Then Bloomsbury, okay, I never thought I would say these words, but Bloomsbury sent me this big ass book of A Day of Fallen Night, which is the sequel. Oh no, this is the prequel sequel. So like sequel, but it's the prequel to A Priory of the Orange Tree. I didn't even expect me to get this. Like I didn't think I was gonna get this book, especially considering the fact I haven't read Priory of the Orange Tree. Bloomsbury, where are you when I want a Sarah J Maas arc? Like where are you when I wanted the second Crescent City book? I mean, I'll take it. Like, thank you, I appreciate it so much. But next up we have A Wilderness of Stars by Shea Earnshaw. I really like The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. I don't think I've read any of her other works. I've been meaning to because I loved the book when I read it, but yeah, I think her writing is usually pretty darn magical, so I'm excited for this. I think Simon Teen sent me this, so thank you, Simon Teen. Then we have The Last Field Party by Abby Glines. Now, I used to love Abby Glines when I was younger. I don't know how I would feel about reading her work now. I read one of her books not too long ago and I was like, oh, what the hell is this? But granted, it was just like a strange like trope. So I'm gonna read this and hopefully I will enjoy it. Next up we have Book of Nights by Holly Black. This is the Owl Crate edition. It's literally still in its packaging, but it's absolutely stunning. On the back it says, once upon a time, a boy was born with a hungry shadow. I really enjoyed so far of what I've read of this book. I got like 20% in and stopped reading, but I also blame it on the fact that I was kind of in a reading slump when I started it. Okay, next up we have 4 books from the same author, and I got the French editions of A Court of Thorns and Roses because I'm currently trying to learn French and perfect my French. My entire family speaks it but me, which is ridiculous, and I've decided that I'm going to get my favorite books in French and just try to learn them that way. These are the stunning like original covers of ACOTAR, which are currently out of print, but in France they are not. So yeah, even A Court of Silver Flames is actually this style of cover, which is crazy. It's actually very, very pretty. If you didn't know, the US A Court of Silver Flames doesn't have like the original, I believe Charlie Bowater drew these, but they don't have the original Charlie Bowater covers. Next up are some more Get Underlined books. We have Castles and Their Bones by Laura Sebastian. I loved the Ash Princess book by Laura Sebastian, and I'd never finished the series because when I read Ash Princess, the rest of the series wasn't out yet. And one thing about me is I'm horrible at finishing series, like absolutely atrocious. If the books aren't all out, good luck getting me to finish that, babe. So I decided to wait for this one. I believe the second book comes out in February of this series. I don't know how long the series is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be a trilogy because I think Ash Princess was a trilogy. Then we have Family of Liars. I have not read it personally. I wasn't the biggest fan of We Were Liars. Let me not even lie, I didn't like that book. Like I just didn't really like We Were Liars. I think I would have liked it a lot more if I read it when I was like in middle school or elementary school, but because I read it when I was like well past the targeted audience for it, it didn't really do it for me. I don't know. So I don't know how much of an interest I have in reading this book, but I am hauling it because it was sent to me by Get Underlined. And we have Harley Quinn Reckoning. This is part of the DC Icon series, which I have not read. Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo, Batman Nightwalker by Marie Lu, Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J Maas, and then Superman Dawnbreaker by Matt De La Pena. I don't know if it's a part of like the main series or maybe it's just like a fun little spin-off. But yeah, if you're like a DC fan, I'm sure you're gonna like this. Then we have Does My Body Offend You? And we also have 2 books in the American Royal series. I don't know where I put the first one. I literally just had it, so maybe it will show up at some point in this haul. But I haven't read these books yet. I've heard great things about them though, and they seem like really, really fun YA reads. And then we also have Nate Plus One, and this is by Kevin Van Wy. Okay, I really want to show this one next because it's pretty cool, and it is The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. This is like the new box set. I have not taken it out of its plastic yet. And then these are how I believe the original covers looked. If you know, you know. I've never read these books, but I have like heard so many amazing things about them, and I feel like these are like a YA staple for so many people and have like changed so many readers' lives and like made them become readers. So I definitely need to give it a try and read it eventually. Okay, next thing I wanted to show you guys is from Illumicrate, as you can tell from the bright yellow box that is so boldly theirs. So I got the Illumicrate editions of Emily Henry's books, and they all have these stunning sprayed edges. I wasn't sure that I was going to like these at first, but I think that they're really pretty. Instead of People We Meet on Vacation, it says You and Me on Vacation, which is pretty funny. While we're talking about special editions, I know future editing Mika is going to kill me for this, but I got the Mortal Instruments Lit Joy Crate special edition box set, and I've been meaning to show it for so freaking long on this channel, but every time I do a haul, I forget to haul them because they are so heavy. Like, it's so heavy. It's insane to carry and insane to show. It's definitely something for like bookshelf display only. So I will put pictures around the screen so you guys can see them. They're beautiful. I absolutely love them. I'm so happy I got them. My Cassandra Clare Shrine is about to be off the charts. Entangled Publishing sent me these 2 little cute mass market paperbacks, and they're adorable. This one is The Sweetheart Fix by Miranda Leeson. This one is Miles and Miles of You by Jennifer Bonds. Then Bloomsbury sent me this advanced reader's copy of I Want to Die But I Want to Eat Tek Boki, and I'm really excited for this. This is by Beck Sahi, and it's translated by Anton Her. Thank you so much to Bloomsbury for sending me an ARC of this book. It actually is already available for purchase. It came out in November. It is December when I'm filming this. Then they also sent me this ARC, which came out in October, and this is Illumination Stories by Alan Moore. Next up, I got Old Magic by Marianne Curley, and this got a new cover. Simon Teen sent this to me, and I went on Goodreads, and all of my friends' reviews are from like 5+ years ago. So I'm assuming this was just one of those books that was really popular back then and everyone kind of just forgot about, kind of like Poison Study. But Poison Study to me should have been a YA classic because it is just such a good book, and I'm sure it's an amazing series and all, but I'm really excited for this one. It's a paranormal YA romance, and I definitely would have eaten it up back then if I read this in my paranormal YA romance era, like back when like Fallen by Lauren Kate was really popular, and Hush Hush. So I'm gonna just imagine that time frame while I read this, because I will be reading this. Then my friend Lane Clark sent me her book, and she sent it in the cutest box ever. It came with like a t-shirt and a candle, which I freaking love. I try not to burn it that much because it smells immaculate, and it is called Love Times Infinity. Then we have the sequel to a book that I have on my shelves, Blood Like Magic. You can't see it, but it's right there. This is Blood Like Fate, and this is by Lascelle Sambury. Then I have an ARC of Raven Song by Clara Fay, and then we have another fantasy book called A Door in the Dark, and this is by Scott Rankton. This is One of Us is Lying meets A Deadly Education in this fantasy thriller mashup, perfect for fans of All of Us Villains and Six of Crows. Those are a lot of different books to compare this to. So that's interesting. The synopsis says, there were 6 people in the portal room when the fight started. Someone said the wrong thing to the wrong person. Wands were out, even though everyone knows you don't do magic in a portal room. That's why the spell went wrong. That's why we got dragged out to the middle of nowhere. One of us is dead on arrival. 2 of us hooked up the night before. 3 of us grew up together. 4 of us refilled our wands with magic. 5 of us are trying to get home. And all of us have a secret. This one sounds really good. Like, who sent this to me? Simon Teen. You're on something with this one. And then we have The Witch Hunt by Sasha Payton Smith. I believe this is a sequel for The Witch Haven. And then we have Rosaline. This is like a new Hulu movie, I think, which I saw the ads for, and it seemed so funny. It really seems like something I would enjoy to watch, but I guess it's called When You Were Mine, and this was the novel that like the movie is based off of. Okay, I have a few more books to haul from one of my library cards, and then I have a whole other library cart to haul, which it's gonna be a lot. So let me start speeding through these books. We have American Royalty. This is by Tracy Livesay. I don't know if I hauled this already, but I did get sent an extra copy of this book by accident, I believe. I think Valentine PR sent me this, and I had already received a copy from Avon Books. So maybe I'll do a giveaway and give this away, or just give it to a friend who's been wanting to read it. So the next 2 books were also sent to me by Valentine PR, and they sent me Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry and Juniper Hill by Devney Perry as well. These are 2 books in a series. There's literally dust flying everywhere because these books have been sitting for so long waiting for me to haul them. I am so sorry I neglected you, my babies. I literally finished this book last night. The rating that I gave it was a 3.75. I just rounded it to 4 on Goodreads. I think that this book was really good for what it was. It's supposed to be an enemies to lovers, however they didn't really hate each other, so I don't consider it an enemies to lovers. If you don't despise each other's guts and literally like try to kill each other, you're not enemies to lovers. It was more of like a mutual dislike, and then friends with benefits, or like acquaintances with benefits. The tone of this was also very serious. The book is about a girl who wants to get a fresh start, so she moves to a small town that her grandfather is the mayor of and that her family grew up in, and she becomes the police chief, and not a lot of people in town like her because they consider her an outsider. Like, she never grew up in the town, her family did. But I am really excited to read the second book Juniper Hill because this main character seems like an absolute hot mess. We meet her in the epilogue of Indigo Ridge, and listen, like, I don't always love reading about separate characters in a series. Like, sometimes if it's done well, I can do it. Sometimes I just care about the first character more, or like the first couple more. But with this, I'm so excited. She seems like a hot mess. I feel like I'm gonna have a fun time reading it. We have Court. This is the last book in the Crave series. Look at how big this book is. Next up, I have the Owl Crate edition of Bloodmarked, and I have the regular edition of Bloodmarked as well. Can you guys see the difference side by side? I guess this one is a darker cover. Yeah. This is the highly anticipated sequel to Legendborn. If you haven't already read Legendborn, what are you doing? Like, I'll wait. Literally go and put that book in your cart right now and check out. I just want everyone ever to read my favorite books every single day of my life, and I will do anything at all costs to get that to happen. Simon Teen also sent me the ARC. You know what? My camera's about to die, so I'm gonna take a little break and I will come back. If I look different, that's why. All right, guys, I'm back. I promise it's not a different day. I literally just took a really long break. I ate some food. I went on TikTok and I changed my outfit because it was getting really cold inside of my house. Okay, so the next book I recently got from Simon Teen, and that is Mysteries of Thorn Manor by Margaret Rogerson. Now, I am so excited for this. If you haven't already read Sorcery of Thorns, what are you doing? Go read that book. It's so good. This is the novella to Sorcery of Thorns. And listen, the way that book ends had me just like gasping for air, okay? I just needed to know what happened next, and there wasn't another book. She only writes standalones. So I was really upset about that, but she did feed us crumbs and she gave us this novella. I haven't read it yet. I will soon. I said she only writes standalones, and that's not true because she actually just came out with like her new series Vespertine. It's a duology. I'm pretty sure it's a duology. Oh my god, I'm gonna literally drop these because these are kind of heavy. Okay, and then we have these special editions of the Zodiac Academy series. So the first one is The Awakening, and we have Tori and Darcy on the cover. These are the bookish box editions. They're absolutely stunning. I know they got like a lot of hate, and some things I understand, some things I don't, because I do really like these editions myself. They've been known to like not match the quality of their books to the price that they're putting on them, and I will say with this, I do think that it was worth the amount that I bought them for. So this is how the edges look when they're together. They're all very, very pretty. However, the first book wasn't supposed to have the constellation like overlapping the trees, and before I bought the books, that's not what was showed to me, but I honestly don't mind it that much. This is how the top of it looks and the bottom. And then on the inside, we have some pretty cover art of the twins. And then this dust jacket is reversible, and the actual book itself is freaking stunning. I'm personally pretty happy with the purchase. There are obviously like slight little things that I wish I could change, but I'm not mad at it. I do have a code with the bookish box. It should be in my description of this video. And then next up is just the regular paperback editions of Zodiac Academy. I have the entirety of the series, which I'm not holding up. There are 7 books. The 8th book just came out, which I did read, and I unfortunately really didn't like. I did a review on Goodreads if you want to check it out, and I'll obviously talk about it more when I do a wrap up. I keep saying I'm going to do a wrap up and I haven't, but yeah, I'm getting off topic here. I got all of the books from book 1 to book 7. This one's book 7. She's a chonker. I will eventually get book 8, but I don't even want book 8. Listen, I can admit when I like a trashy book. Like, if it hits, it hits. I can't make it not hit, you know what I mean? These books are definitely that. If you don't know what Zodiac Academy is, I don't know what to tell you. No, I'm just kidding. Zodiac Academy is basically about these 2 twin sisters. They are Geminis, and they are just roughing it through life. They have been in and out of the foster system their entire life because their parents died when they were very young. And all of a sudden, this guy shows up and lets them know that they are long lost fae princesses to this world or a kingdom called Celeria, and in order to gain their inheritance they have to come to this Fae world with him, and their story starts from there. They're basically not really welcome considering the fact that they, you know, have been in the human world for so long. They don't really know what's going on in this Fae world, and so even though many people want them to take back their throne, a lot of people don't want them to take back their throne, and they will go through insane measures to make sure that these two sisters don't gain access to the throne. It's a bully paranormal romance, and it is just as trashy as it sounds. But I absolutely love the series. It's definitely just fun. I wouldn't say it's like groundbreaking literature that like everyone should read. If you don't like bully romance or you don't like paranormal romance, don't read this. We have Blood Heir by Emily Wen Zhao, and then we have Violet Made of Thorns. This is by Gina Chen. So Simon Teen sent me Last Violent Call. This is by Chloe Gong. It's a new novella and it surrounds the events of Foul Lady Fortune, and it follows a familiar cast of characters from These Violent Delights. So if you're a Chloe Gong fan, you would probably love this. This comes out in February of 2023. Then in one of my Owl Crate boxes, they sent Pride and Prejudice, which was really cool. Then I got The Secrets We Keep by Cassie Gustafson. Then we have 24 Hours in Paris by Romy Mundi, and Wattpad Books sent this over to me, so thank you so much, Wattpad. And also they sent me over a Eiffel Tower keychain, which is crazy because I used to have an Eiffel Tower keychain and I lost it, and then like a few months later they send me one, which is just like crazy odds. Then I got this book and it is called A Magical Guide to Self-Care, and inside it literally just has like things on manifestation, and it literally says self-care is not only necessary, it's magical, and it's a collection of both mystical and practical tools to help deal with stress, depression, and other challenges. And then we have Those Summer Nights by Laura Silverman. This one seems really interesting to me. I don't really read that many YA contemporaries anymore. I used to be like obsessed with them, but I kind of just grew out of it a little. The only author that I really read nowadays that writes YA contemporary is Casey West, and I want to start getting into other authors because I know there are some really good ones out there, and this one just seems like a book that I would really like. It seems cute and it seems fun and it seems right up my alley. Then we have Lynn Painter, The Do-Over, which I have heard that Lynn Painter is a really good YA author. I don't know what this book is about, but I did read her adult book, Mr. Wrong Number, which I enjoyed. Immediately when I first read it, I think I gave it like 4 stars. I lowered my rating to 3 stars because like I think I just gave it 4 stars because it was like the high of reading it. And so I've heard that her YAs are way better. Okay, so I'm gonna start pulling some books from my library cart that I'm not sure if I've hauled or not yet. I don't think I've hauled them, so yeah, let's just get into that. So first things first, we have Give Me Love by Corinne Michaels. Valentine PR sent this to me. I read the first book in this series. I give it 4 stars. I don't know what this one's about, but thanks to Valentine PR, they always give us a little trope list. It says genres, contemporary romance / romantic suspense. And then tropes are angsty, friends to lovers, marriage of convenience, military, second chance romance, and small town. So if any of those sound interesting to you, you're in luck with this book. I'm pretty sure I hauled this, but I got this in New York or Connecticut. It is a manga called A Sign of Affection, and it's a romance manga, I'm pretty sure. My friends have raved about this. I've heard great things about it, so I'm excited to start it. Okay, moving on to the other books that I got. I think I hauled this already, but I can't remember, so I'm just gonna haul it again. But I got Dear Enemy. My friend Becca got this for me for Christmas last year, I think. And since she lived in Connecticut and I was staying with her, she finally gave it to me. But yeah, I love this book. It was really fun. The main character in this book was childhood best friends with this guy. However, they had like a falling out and they just like didn't talk for years. And he becomes famous and she ends up going to his doorstep begging for help because she needs money for something. I honestly forgot. I read this book a while ago. And he offers her a job as his personal assistant. Yeah. I was right. My memory did not fail me. And it's just a fun read. I also read this in one sitting. I loved it. And then the book that I literally just talked about, Mr. Wrong Number, I forgot I owned this. But I got it at a sale that Barnes & Noble was having. So I said, why not? And with that, I got Just Haven't Met You Yet by Sophie Cousins. I haven't heard about this book, but it sounded really interesting to me because this girl bumps into this guy at the airport and they have like a really embarrassing encounter, but they accidentally switch bags. And so she has to somehow get her bag back, and that's all I really know. And that's all I want to know before going into this. And then I got Christina Lauren's Dating You, Hating You. I think I got this in New York when I was with Becca. The way I can't even remember when I got this book. Like that's how you know I have a problem. And then I definitely did get this one in New York. It is Sunkissed by Casey West. I love Casey West, and I think her stories are extremely simple and extremely fun and easy to read. So if you are ever craving a YA, like Casey West is just the default. Next up are some books that I got sent from Avon Books. My friend DJ, who works for them, actually let me pick out a few books that I was interested in, and he sent them my way. So thank you so much, DJ. You're the best. This Lisa Kleypas novel called Devil in Disguise. I've been really interested in reading one of her series. I think it might have been her Wallflower series. Then we have Written in the Stars, and this is by Alexandria Bellefleur. Another copy of American Royalty by Tracy Livesay. All the Feels by Olivia Dade. And spoiler alert, also by Olivia Dade. Then we have Hang the Moon, and this is by Alexandria Bellefleur. One that I'm really excited to read, which is Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. I loved Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey, and this one is one I've been meaning to read for a really long time, and I just haven't. It's a second chance romance because the couple in this are already married, but they are like dwindling. They are literally on thin ice with each other, and there's something about like relationships failing but them coming back together and working on it together really does it for me, because that's what should happen in a relationship. And we have another Tessa Bailey book, and that is Hook, Line, and Sinker. I read the first book. It happened one summer, and it was really cute. I will say it wasn't my favorite Tessa Bailey book. Like, I think Fix Her Up was way better than It Happened One Summer. That's just me. I know a lot of people love It Happened One Summer. I'm pretty sure that's one of her like most popular books. I am intrigued in The Sister. Like, her plotline seems interesting to me, so maybe I'll like this one more than I liked It Happened One Summer. I still think It Happened One Summer was good though. Like, I'm not saying that because I think it was bad whatsoever, but I do feel like I might like this one more. I don't know. Okay, then Avon Books sent On Rotation by Shirlene Abobi, and then they sent When Stars Collide by Susan Elizabeth Phillips, who I absolutely loved. I loved Nobody's Baby But Mine. Very old, like very old adult romance. Would it hold up to this day? I want to say it was like written in like 1996, which isn't that long ago, but for romance books, it was a while ago. But I'm excited to see how her writing has changed over the years, because I have read some of her books that I didn't really enjoy that much, so I'm hoping that this one it gives me the same feeling as Nobody's Baby But Mine. Oh, and I'm pretty sure this is in that series. Yeah, Chicago Star series. Yeah, this is the return of the Chicago Star series, which is a continuation of Nobody's Baby But Mine. I'm sure, like, I don't know if the characters from that are going to be in this because that series came out a really long time ago. Regardless, I'm still excited for it. Entangled Publishing sent me this, and it's called Talk Flirty to Me by Livy Hart. It's another little cute small mass market paperback. And then I bought these, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I got A Touch of Darkness and A Touch of Malice by Scarlett St. Clair. I have been meaning to get these books for so long, and I finally got them. I think I got them in Connecticut. I didn't find the other book though. I know there's like 3 books in this series. I didn't find that one, so I just bought the ones that I could find. Then Simon Teen sent me the show tie-in edition to The Summer I Turned Pretty. I really enjoyed the show. I actually didn't finish watching the show, so I can't say that I enjoyed it, but I did actually like what I've seen so far of it. Me and my friend have been literally meaning to finish it for so long. Every single time we hang out, we're like, we gotta finish that show, and we just never do. We'll probably get that done at least before season 2 comes out, hopefully. But I reread the first book, and it was interesting. The first time I read the book, I gave it 1 star. I think that was kind of harsh. Like, past Mika, she was doing a little bit too much. Does it deserve a 1-star rating? No, but it's still not like anything amazing. I think that there are a lot more like older YA books that are better than this, but do I think it made a great show? Absolutely. Then Bloom Books sent me When Stars Come Out by Scarlett St. Clair. And then I somehow managed to get my hands on Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake before it went out of print. Don't ask me how I did it, because I literally couldn't tell you. I think I just had FOMO and I was like, I'm gonna buy this. And I bought it, and then a week later, you couldn't get it anywhere. So thank you to Past Mika for having FOMO, as she always does, and spending money when she shouldn't. Oh, remember how I said that I didn't have any more Mariana Zapata books? I lied. From Luke Off With Love. I bought this a while ago. This one isn't my favorite Mariana Zapata book. It is her most popular, like one of her most popular besides Wall of Winnipeg and Me. And I personally would say that her other books are a lot better than this one. But I understand why everyone likes it before you freaking come for me. Like, I get it. I still love it. It's like still up there on my list of favorite books, but I just think out of like Mariana Zapata's entire backlist, this one wouldn't be like on like my top 3. I feel like that's kind of to say, but it's true. And then we have On the Rocks by Candy Steiner. This is a special collector's edition from the Bookworm box. This came in the All Roads Lead Here box. Oh yeah, and then we have the Summer I Turned Pretty series. This is the new reprinted covers, and honestly, these are way better than the original covers. These are so cute, and they're gonna look so cute on my shelves. This is another book that Avon has had sent my way, and it is called Count Your Lucky Stars, and this is also by Alexandria Bellfleur. Then we have a paperback version of Legendborn. This is when I think they were doing like a special inclusion of a Cell chapter. Read for an exclusive short story from Selwyn Kane's point of view. And Simon Teen sent this to me. So thank you so much to Simon Teen. I never ended up reading that Selwyn chapter, but maybe I will once I do my reread of the first book and start the second book finally. Then I got The Insiders by Tejan, and this was sent to me from St. Martin's Griffin. And then we have Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. This is the ARC. This book comes out, or this book already came out. It came out in September. Then for some reason, Wattpad Books sent me a graphic novel of After by Anna Todd. I wasn't expecting it whatsoever. Like, who sat down in a room and said, you know what we need? An After graphic novel. I just want to talk. But thank you to Wattpad Books for sending that to me. And then a little fun throwback memory for all of my bad bitches out there. I got the entire series of the I Tell You I'd Love You But Then I'd Have to Kill You books, which these are spy novels. If you know, you know. These books literally made me into the person that I am today. I would say that they have a heavy influence on like why I like the type of books that I like now. I will say I'm kind of mad because look at the height difference on these. Something isn't correct here. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? These two in the first 2 books, fine. The last book, fine. These 3 middle ones, what is that? I think it's because they changed the publisher halfway through. Yeah, now I'm just stuck with like uneven books, which is fine. It's gonna bother me so much when I look at these on my shelves. So I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do with them yet. I think I'm going to just try to find like the right height of these books. They're like super cheap. Then we have the German edition of Crescent City, the second book, House of Sky and Breath. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the sprayed edges that I assumed it was going to have because Book Depository like messed up something on their website and weren't able to send out those copies. So they told me that I could keep this, but I will probably be giving it away because the only reason I like wanted this edition was because I can't show you guys right now because I'm sitting down and I really don't want to get up. But like, if you know, you know. It has like the really beautiful red sprayed edges, and it has Bryce's face in a crescent moon on the spine. Really hard to describe, but I will put it up on the screen or you can look it up. Then I have I believe this is the Owl Crate version of Gallant. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the Owl Crate version. It's really pretty. It has black sprayed edges. We have Beasts of Prey, and this is by Ayana Gray. And then we have Neon Gods by Katie Robert. This signed Waterstones edition of Book of Nights, and it has these gorgeous sprayed edges. And then I have the new version of The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. We are reaching the finish line. I have this stack and this stack of books to haul next. Okay, first up we have Lawless Space, and this is by Corey Ann Haydu. Then we have the paperback version of Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. Mad at Love, and this is by Gabriella Martins. Love from Scratch, and this is a YA romance by Kathleen Hill. The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. The movie tie-in edition of The Kissing Booth by Beth Rickles. These are all Get Underlined books, and this is also a Get Underlined book if you didn't already know. This stunning paperback of Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. You guys, look at how beautiful this is. The spine is like a really pretty blue color. Like a Love Song by Gabriella Martins. Did I already haul this? I think I hauled another book by Gabriella Martins. Oh, here's my American Royals copy. This is by Catherine McGee. Where did I put my other American Royals books? I'll figure that out later. The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. Soul of the Deep by Natasha Bowen. Who Put This Song On by Morgan Parker. Breathless by Jennifer Niven. Then I have the hardcover version of Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. Frightmares, and this is just like a Halloween novel by Ava V. Gibson. And then The Agathas, and this is by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson. This one's like a YA thriller mystery. All right, let's get on to this stack right here. We have this special edition of The Invitation by Nikki Sloan. This was in a Hello Lovely book box, and I love Nikki Sloan's Nashville Neighbors series. I haven't read The Invitation by her, but I'm sure I would probably like it too. Next up, we have 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. I don't know if I hauled this already, but I did get sent 2 copies by accident. Then we have Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. 5 Survive and her Good Girl's Guide to Murder series are like not the same series whatsoever. They just have similar covers. 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim. The Gilded Ones and The Merciless Ones by Namina Forna. A Lesson in Vengeance. I think I hauled this one already, but this is like the really pretty Owl Crate version. Places We've Never Been by Casey West. This one is super cute. It is a road trip romance with these 2 childhood best friends turned strangers. They reconnect on the road trip, and it's so adorable. I really liked this book. Then we have Small Favors, and this is by Erin A. Craig. Okay, next up I have the Spanish Love Deception, and I have the American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas, and I got these signed by her because she came to Miami and she signed my books, and they're so cute. I have not read either of these. Are we surprised? Absolutely not. And then I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Book of Night. I wish I could tell you what this edition has, but I can't. I like genuinely don't know. Then Bravery by Maggie Stiefvater. And then I got the Iron Sword by Julie Kagawa. As you can see, I have the Iron King behind me. They're absolutely stunning. My little Hello Kitty is hiding the spines of the other books, but they are there. Then I have Shattered Midnight by Danielle Clayton. And then I have So It Goes by Jennifer Probst. The Liar's Crown, and this is by Abigail Owen. And then I got this book from Bloomsbury, and it is called Shades of Rust and Ruin by A.G. Howard. I bought this book when I went to New York for the Harry Styles concert, and it is called The Hookup Plan. I'm sure you guys saw it in my vlog of me in New York. And also in New York I got Carrie Soto Is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Then Simon Teen sent me The Shattered City, which I believe is the final book in the Last Magician series. Pretty sure I own like every book in the Last Magician series besides The Last Magician, so I need to rectify that immediately. And then HarperCollins sent me the Brothers Grimm Snow White and Other Grimm's Fairy Tales illustrated edition with interactive elements, and this is the Mina Lima version. These are like iconic. I can't wait to finally like reorganize my shelves so I can put all of my beautiful collections of the Mina Lima like interactive books on my shelves. They're gonna look beautiful. And I have this Owl Crate, Violet Made of Thorns. And then I have I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I have been so looking forward to reading this. I just haven't had the time to like actually sit down and pick it up yet, but I will soon because this book has just been everywhere. It was all over Book Talk, it was all over Twitter, all over YouTube. I also was on a mission to find this book. It was not an easy thing to do, but I finally found it because y'all are crazy and y'all had this book sold out absolutely everywhere. I'm blaming you, TikTok. That was thankfully the last book, but wait, don't go yet. I did mention in the beginning of the video that I would be giving away this beautiful box set. It is a book talk box set, so it has all of the like book talk classics like We Were Liars, The Gilded Ones, House of Salt and Sorrows, and A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. If you want to receive this box set, all you have to do is leave down a comment below telling me a book that you're looking forward to reading in this haul, and then leave your Instagram, Twitter, or social media account. That is the best way to contact you. I will be responding to you directly if you win on YouTube. Good luck to everyone who enters. Thank you all so much for sticking through and watching this video. If you made it all the way to the end, leave a snowflake emoji down below in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.
East and the west, racking up on my breath, power on me, I'm feeling just like a Tesla. Too much tree, the smoke is making my chest hurt. Girl on me, I'm thinking I should've rest her. Hey, I'm thinking I should've rest all night long. She putting me to the test. Got a lot on, I'm trying to take out the rest.